Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be having a look at some TikTok storytime videos which you guys won't believe exist. Recently, I've been falling down a massive deep hole where I watch storytimes in TikTok, and honestly, some of them are really interesting. So we're going to have a look at some really cool storytime TikToks, and honestly, some of them are going to be kind of scary. Before this video starts, remember to subscribe, and yeah, we're going to have a look at some crazy TikTok storytimes.
My friend's mom tried to stab me and my sister. Story time.
Okay.
Yes, honey, you heard that right. She tried to stab us with a knife. So at the time, me and my sister were 8 and 9 years old. And we went to the pool every single day. And we eventually made friends with this boy. We're gonna call him Tomato. Then our parents ended up making friends with Tomato's mom. Like, they ended up becoming really good friends. And after a couple months, Tomato eventually asked me and my sister to spend the night. Well, our parents surprisingly said yes. This is the one time, and the one time only, I wish my parents would have said no. Well, anyways, we went to the sleepover. By the way, it was our first sleepover we've ever been to. So we get there around 5, and we're having a blast. We made forts, we watched DT, we ate popcorn. For our first sleepover, it was going wonderful. However, the whole time we were at this sleepover, his mom was in her room. 11 p.m. comes around, and the mom comes out of her room smelling like alcohol. She was drunk.
Oh no.
And she comes out and she starts screaming at us. She thought we were home invaders. Then she goes in the kitchen and grabs a knife.
Okay guys, so that was part 1. I've got a feeling there's a part 2, so I'm gonna go under her profile right now and try to find it. But honestly, that's kind of scary. Like, imagine somebody's mum trying to stab you. See, alcohol really changes people. It's really scary what it can do.
My friend's mom tried to stab me and my sister. Story time. So for those of you who saw part 1 and weren't able to see part 2 because you don't have me on Instagram, or you just don't have Instagram, I posted it on my YouTube channel at Kenzie Spicy. That's what the video looks like, so yeah. And now that we're all caught up, I can go back to posting my story times on here. And if TikTok ever decides to take down my videos again, I'm gonna post it on my YouTube or my Instagram for you guys. So make sure you're subscribed or you're following. Now let's get back to my regular content.
Okay, so she didn't actually tell us the part 2. Basically, I'm assuming that the mum came down, thought that she was a home intruder, and then tried to execute them. I hate it when people make a part 1 and a part 2, but then like don't post it on TikTok. Oh, that's kind of irritated me. Like, I really want to understand what happened.
Story time! So yesterday my friends and I all went to the fair, and there were 6 of us in total. And none of us wanted to have to worry about driving there and parking, so we just Ubered instead. So we left the fair around 11:15, and we walked to a nearby shopping center where the Uber picked us up about 10 minutes late. We ended up leaving at 11:30.
I haven't watched it completely yet, but I'm pretty sure that their Uber driver was a really creepy person. Let's find out what happened.
We get in the Uber, the man says hello, and we head home the normal way. Everything's fine. And my parents don't like when I Uber, so they were tracking me on Life 360 from the moment I got in the car. After about 10 minutes in, I get a text from my mom, and it said, "Where are you?" I look up from my phone and I realize I have no idea where we are.
Oh, no.
And Ubers know their directions, they know how to take you home. We were 20 minutes out of the way. So I'm terrified. My mom's texting me nonstop, literally about to call the police. I'm gonna run out of time, but posting part 2 today.
Okay, I'm going under a profile right now to find part 2 because I need to understand what's happening. That's actually one of my biggest fears ever. Like, I have a massive fear of basically getting kidnapped. This is another mini story time, but basically the other day I was meeting my friend. She had to get a taxi to the location because her parents weren't home. Her taxi driver was a really creepy man, and he was called Peter. And basically whenever he dropped her off, he like stayed around the area for another 10 minutes and basically was staring at us because we were waiting outside of a restaurant. It literally creeped us out so much that we got into another taxi and went to a different restaurant. And then like an hour later, we saw the same guy drive past us. It could have been a really weird coincidence, but that Peter guy literally was obsessed with us. Like, I actually thought we were gonna die. I'm not gonna lie, one of my biggest fears ever is getting kidnapped by an Uber driver. You would kind of trust them because they're being tracked 24/7 because their job is an Uber driver. Honestly, it's really scary. Okay, I'm on this girl's TikTok account right now, and I'm literally scrolling down so much. She's got so many videos. Looks like I'm just gonna be sat like this for a couple of minutes because she has got hundreds of videos. Why is she posting so many TikToks? Okay, so after scrolling for literally an hour, I'm pretty sure this was the video we just watched, and this is the part 2. So let's click on it and hope that it is actually the part 2.
Okay, back to the Uber story.
Let's go.
Our parents are freaking out, we're texting each other in our group chat so he doesn't hear us. Also, while this is all happening, he wasn't talking to us, but he had an earbud in, and he was talking to someone on the phone really quietly. It was super creepy.
Yeah, that's creepy.
My mom starts calling me again, and he hears the ring. And one of my friends pulled up on her phone the directions to get home, which he also heard, so he knew that we thought something was off.
Oh no.
After a little while longer, over, we finally know where we are, so we feel a little bit better. We were getting really close to the turn that goes into my friend's neighborhood, and we were thinking if he doesn't make this turn, we're screwed. Thank goodness he makes a turn and we're back at my friend's house. But the scary thing is what if he was planning something, but since our phones were ringing and we had the GPS up, that he changed his mind because we were not going home. I still can't stop thinking about it. This is the one time Life 360 has come in handy. We're all safe now.
Yeah, that is really creepy. I feel like that would definitely happen to me. But to be honest, I've got Life 360 as well on my phone. I don't know if you can see, but it's literally right there. Yeah, it isn't focusing, but I've got it on my phone. The only reason I have the app on my phone is so it means my parents can track me, and then it means if I'm ever looking for my friend, I can find him on the app. I'm not a bad kid. Like, I'd say I'm pretty good. I tell my parents where I'm going. I don't get myself into stupid situations. But like, honestly, you'd much rather be safe than sorry, because something like that would probably happen to me.
This photo is not at all what it first appears to be. Part 10.
Oh,
this
no.
just looks like a selfie, but it was actually used to solve a murder. It was
Okay.
taken on May 24th, 2015. That is Cheyenne Antoine, and that is Brittany Garble. And the next day, Brittany's body would be found on the outskirts of Saskatoon, Canada. She died by strangulation by a belt that was found at the scene. And police were able to link that belt to the killer because she's wearing it in this photo.
Oh my gosh, isn't that kind of crazy? They literally solved a murder from a photo. Wait, so was it the person who's wearing the belt was the murderer? I can't tell. I'm gonna look at this girl's account because I want to hear more. These stories are actually crazy. Okay, I'm currently looking at her account and she has got a lot of TikToks about interesting stuff. Let me know if I should make another video in the future where I watch creepy TikToks, because honestly, this girl seems to have a lot of them. I'm gonna try and find another Storytime TikTok right here.
This woman is still at large. Maria Lapine is thought to be responsible for the deaths of 9 people. 3 husbands, 2 lovers, 2 friends, a business associate, and a funeral director. And in August of 1993,
9 people.
she reported that her half-sister had died so that she could collect a $100,000 life insurance policy. And in March of 1995, Maria reportedly died, and her mother and children collected a $500,000 life insurance policy. But in January of 1996, insurance investigators exhumed Maria's grave, but she wasn't inside, and forensics determined that there was never a body inside. So they exhumed Maria's half-sister's grave, and again, no body. And it turns out Maria's half-sister never even existed.
Okay, that's kind of creepy. I really want to do another video in the future where I react to creepy TikToks. Imagine being responsible for the death of 9 people. She must be a really smart, intelligent woman. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Like, she's literally got £600,000 from faking the deaths of multiple people, I think. Okay, I'm starting to get a tiny bit creeped out.
Okay, I'm like documenting my death right now, but there's like a black van following me. And I was at Walmart and I got groceries and I got in my car and like shut the door, and this lady came up to my window and she was like knocking on it, and she was like, hey, like, I really need your phone, like, I'm not okay, like, I need to call for a ride home, like, can I please have your phone? And I was like, could you like go inside and ask for help? Like, I don't want to give you my phone, like, I'm sorry, it's not personal. And she was like, no, they won't help me, like, I need your phone. And I started realizing like what was going on. Oh my god, they're still following me. And I saw this black van parked next to me, and this man was just like sitting in there, and I like looked at the van and I looked at her and I was like, I'm so sorry, but I can't help you. And so I like left, and I think like she has my license plate number. They're following me and I'm freaking out.
Okay, so that was that TikTok. That's actually really creepy. If you guys haven't already, I would definitely recommend for you guys to get some type of an alarm. I've got this thing. It's called like a panic alarm. Basically, you pull this thing out here and it makes a really high-pitched noise. I'm not going to do it right now because it'll actually blow my eardrums. It is so incredibly loud. But basically, my mum got it for me in case something like this happens to me. But yeah, I'm going to look at her profile to see if she's got a part 2, because that is really creepy. That's actually kind of scared me. Okay, so she has actually posted a part 2 right here, so we're going to have a look at it now.
Okay, this is the part 2 for the van thing. I didn't call the police at first. I don't know why. I thought I would turn into my neighborhood and they would just like leave, but they didn't. So that's when I called the police, and they just routed me to their police station. And as soon as I turned in, like the car behind me just kept going. So I just lost them. I went to the police station, and then I got questioned a lot about like the van and the lady, and now I'm home safe. But if anyone else is ever in that situation, just please like go go to the police station. Don't try and go home. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, that's it.
Okay, so that was her part 2, but she's also posted an update video, so we're gonna watch that now, and then we're gonna comment on the whole thing.
Okay, hi, I'm doing like a quick little update before I go to bed because that video is getting a lot of attention and it's giving me a lot of anxiety because I'm not like used to so many people like seeing me and like commenting on my life and like seeing my face, especially my list. But yeah, I'm okay. I'm safe. I have no idea what happened to the people in the van at all, but I just wanted to say that I'm okay. I know I should have called the police earlier. It was my fault for not doing that. And I just wanted to let everyone know that there's bad people out there, and just make sure that my girls especially, you're checking your car and you're being aware because that's most important, and I just hope everyone stays safe.
She is correct, like it's actually really scary. There is creepy people out there. Like I remember once me and my friend were in a car and a car basically followed us for around about half an hour, and it was really creepy. They eventually like left us alone, but like it's kind of creepy to think that they literally could have been after us to abduct us. But yeah, that's why I definitely recommend for you guys to get one of these. Basically just pull this string out and it makes a really high pitched noise, and it'll obviously scare them away. It's also got a flashlight, as you can see. But yeah, that was really creepy. At least she's okay now. Anyways, we've now got one more video to react to, so let's watch the last video.
This is the story of the disappearance of Margaret Ellen Fox, and yes, the phone call at the end of the story is real. This is a picture of Margaret, and she had just graduated the 8th grade, and she decided that she wanted to get some babysitting gigs. This all takes place in the summer of 1974, and Margaret lived in Burlington, New Jersey. Margaret put out her phone number looking for these babysitting gigs, and on June 19th, this guy by the name of John Marshall called her asking for her to babysit his 5-year-old son. The job was in Mount Holly, New Jersey, and Margaret's parents were kind of weird about it because she was only in 8th grade and she'd be traveling to a different city. But she gave them John Marshall's phone number, so they were okay with it. John had some babysitting stuff set up for her on a weekend, but he postponed it 3 times. Eventually, he called her again and said this time it was for real and he would pick her up in a red Volkswagen.
Yeah, that's
Margaret
fishy.
told her parents that she would call right when she got there, but no call. A few hours went by and still no call. And she was supposed to be home at 2:30, but then she didn't show up. And then hours went by and she still didn't show up. Part 2 coming now.
Okay, so we're gonna watch the next part in a second, but I'm pretty sure I've heard of this story before. It's actually really creepy to think that things like this actually happen. Like I think 30,000 kids went missing last year in the US alone. Like it's scary. But yeah, we're gonna have a look at her profile and try to find the part 2.
Part 2 of the disappearance of Margaret Ellen Fox, and yes, the phone call at the end of this story is real. So Margaret is missing and they have not heard from her. So they use the phone number that she left them and it starts ringing. A lady picks up and Margaret's mom asks, is somebody by the name of John Marshall there? And she's like, there's no one here named John Marshall. And the lady hangs up on her, and so they start freaking out again. So they call the phone number again, and yet a different voice picks up this time. And so it turns out that phone number is the phone number of a payphone outside of a store. It was all so suspicious, but then they found out that the manager of that store, his name was John Marshall. One of the cops actually knew this John Marshall, and he said, it's not him, trust me, he couldn't have done it. And so they quickly just ruled him out. Once the media got wind of what was going on and spread the news, a lot of other people said that they also got the same call from a guy named John Marshall for fake babysitting gigs. This goes to show that this was no accident, no coincidence, and Margaret was targeted. Last part 3, coming right now, and yes, it has the phone call in it.
Okay, so we're now about to watch part 3, but I'm getting really creeped out. I don't like stuff like this. Like I'm literally looking around my room right now. Oh my god, I love scary stuff, but then I also hate it, but I'm kind of getting freaked out.
Part 3, the last part of the disappearance of Margaret
go.
Ellen Fox, and yes, the phone call at the end of this video is real. So Margaret was still missing. It was clearly not a coincidence. She was targeted by this guy going by the name of John Marshall. Margaret's parents have no idea where she is. They are worried sick, and the only way that they had to contact her was the number of that random payphone, which I don't think is such a coincidence, but you can decide that in the comments. But one night, Margaret's parents are just sitting around the house and they get this phone call. It is from a man who is supposedly connected with the whole Margaret thing and demanding $10,000 to save her life. Here's the phone call.
$10,000 might be a lot of bread, but your daughter's life is a buttered topic.
Who is it? $10,000 might be a lot of bread, but your daughter's life is the buttered topic? Who talks like that? Also, this is what scientists think that she would look like now, but we don't know. Now Margaret would be 60 years old, and if you think you know anything or recognize that voice or see a woman that looks like this, call this number right away.
Okay, yeah, that's really creepy. I'm like looking around. I heard a noise downstairs. Am I gonna get kidnapped? I'm so scared. But surely somebody would recognize that voice, think of it. But oh my god, that's actually kind of freaky. But at least that's now the end of the storytime videos. Anyways, guys, hope you all enjoyed this video. We had a look at some really weird, creepy storytime videos on TikTok. Some were kind of scary, but then some were actually scary. Like that one right there was terrifying. If you want to see me make a part 2 in the future, I definitely will. So comment down below and I'll definitely try my best to do it. And yes, I will see you all in my next video. Oh gosh, I'm so scared right now. But yeah, be safe and see you all in my next video.